Good morning. Marty texted me last night and wants to head out on a trip this weekend. He's got one chance to do a trip for March because he's headed out the country on a hot holiday. So he's got a new toy coming in the country and he wants to test it out. So I'm a sucker and I said yes, even though I've got a huge event going on at the restaurant this week and next week. But I can't pass up an opportunity like that. So we're gonna head into the restaurant today. We're gonna prep some food for our trip, and I'm gonna show you guys the behind the scenes look into that. So you get another peek into the restaurant today.
Just because we're out here doesn't mean we can't be civilized.
What's a pig's favorite karate move? It's a pork chop. Today we're gonna make some pork chops. We've got a nice center cut bone-in pork loin right now. Normally you would cut the bones right down the center here. Let's make a little line for you guys. Right down the center here, remove the bones, and you would keep this top piece from here on up to make bacon with. We're not gonna make bacon today. We're gonna use the bone for a little bit of added visual on the dish, and then we'll save the other pieces for grinding. Maybe we'll put it in the smokies or something like that later. You know, you want to use every piece that you can, but we're going to start by removing the skin. It comes with the skin on, so we'll get rid of the skin first. Find a nice little flap and get right in there. That's hard that way. You want to keep as much fat on this pork as possible because, well, pork fat is delicious. Long slices, use your whole knife. You're able to get. Let's switch sides maybe. And we could keep this skin, could make crackling with it, or you can make Halloween masks. That would be fun to do with as well. But we don't use that here, so we have no need for it. So now we're going to remove this piece. You want to find the eye of the loin right here. And you'll come up a little bit and just make a marking. And you'll do the same on the other side. Find the nice eye, come above it, make a mark. And then you just find your two marks and join them up. Now we're going to remove that piece. Having a wet cloth on your cutting board helps from the cutting board from slipping and you cutting your hand off. You don't want to do that. So now we're just going to take our knife and get right along the bone. I'm pushing into the bone here. That way we're getting right at the bone. I'll do that all the way along. There you go. We'll keep this piece, which you could turn into bacon, but we'll grind it up and we'll use it in sausage or something. Now we're going to French this. By Frenching, I mean we're cleaning the bones. So we're going to take the meat off from inside the bones here, clean it all up, make it look nice. So you start at the bottom, work your way to the top. This is also good stuff that you can use for grinding into sausages or burger patties. Now underneath, we're going to remove this connective tissue here. That's what's going to separate us from the rest. If you eat this stuff, it gets stuck in your teeth. It's horrifying. Don't look good on your dates. Now, if we were to serve this in the restaurant, we would clean these bones completely. But since we're going to make this out in the bush, we want a nice rustic look. So we'll let the meat on the bones cook over the fire and give it a nice rustic look. Now we're going to portion it up. You be careful of this chine bone right here. There's little bits where the joints are in here. So when we cut them, we're going to have to cut around them. So we'll be conscious of that while we do it. We want to make some nice big chops. So we're going to get right in there. There we are, one of our chops. And you can hit, yeah. There's another one. There we go, we have our nicely chopped up pork chops. Next, I'm going to take you through the process of rubbing it and sous videing it. Okay, now we got our pork all nicely laid out on the tray. And we got our house-made pork rub here. I'll put the recipe in the description below. We're just going to liberally sprinkle this on top of our pork. Jam it in there, flip them over, make sure to get the other side. And then we're going to vacuum seal these. So we're gonna throw them in some bags, seal them up real tight. That's gonna help push this flavor into it when we sous vide it. Let's get this. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Okay, now we're gonna put this in the circulator. Put it in the circulator for 2 hours at 140. Okay, let's grab a bowl for our ice bath. We're gonna fill it with ice and water. You want to get the pork submerged immediately when it comes out of the circulator to stop it from cooking. That's why we're using an ice bath. I'm going to make sure they're fully submerged in the ice water. Stop them from cooking. Okay, now that we've cooked this at 140 degrees for 2 hours, we're gonna pull it out of the bag and we're gonna wipe all the juices off of it and rebag it just for our trip. Now it's been internally cooked to 140 degrees. By doing it for 2 hours, I know that it's cooked all the way through. And then when we're at the campground and we're gonna cook it over the fire, all I really have to do is add some grill marks to it, heat it throughout, and it'll be ready to cook. So it cooks quick, fast, and makes dinner that much quicker when we're on the trail. Okay, we've got our pork chop all wrapped up, ready to hit the trail. All we got to do is come up with the sides for everything. And I've got an idea in mind. I've got a nice piece of smoked cheddar. And I think I'm going to cube it up and throw it in some mashed potatoes when we get out there. I'm also working on a demi-glace, so that's a pork stock that's been reduced and a bunch of aromatics put into it. So like bacon, mushrooms, carrots, onions, celery, some fresh herbs, some garlic. And I'm going to reduce some red wine into that for our sauce. As for vegetable, not 100% sure yet. I'm going to hit the market up when it opens on the weekend before we head out and see what the local farmers have to offer. And we'll create our dish from there. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this trip. If you guys like the videos, make sure to hit that like button and stick a fork in it. Make sure to subscribe and I'll keep them coming. And look forward to seeing you guys out on the trail. Make sure to get outside and feed your adventure.
We're vlogging!
Oh, it went to 139 when we did it. Somebody's gonna comment about that shit.
Oh, you're good, Dana. You do it too.
Hi. How are you? I'm famous now.